Streaming, and we are back for episode 2. Today we're going to close out of some of these pop-up windows, and then we're going to work on some algorithms. Heading over to LeetCode to get this one started. We already picked one. Samir's also on the call. Say hi, Samir.
Hi.
And we are working on LeetCode, which is a platform for finding and solving algorithms. Today we're going to work on a simple one because this is us getting back into the game. We're going to merge two sorted lists, and let's see what happens. We'll set, hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes. Starting now.
You think, Samir, that we should work on Java or JavaScript? Or in the repository I've got a mix of Java. I did a lot of Java when I was doing this the first time because that's the bread and butter. But I haven't actually worked in Java in forever, so I kind of want to do it just to see if I remember. I should keep up my Java skills, you know? What do you think?
Yeah. Try Java.
Cool. So while list node. What is a list node? List node Java. Let's see what you got. Okay, list node, this dot data and this dot next. Okay. So while L1 dot next. Well, let's just see what happens if I return L1. If we return L1, run the code. Code result, return L1. Oh. Ha! Java, you need semicolons. That is hilarious.
Right. JavaScript is so free flowing that you don't need all of that.
That is hilarious that I forgot that. Okay, so your input and output is just that. Great. So let's give a while L1 dot next. How would I say exists?
Just
You know?
You don't need a exclamation in front. Is that it? It's just a true and false. It's a Boolean expression, right?
Okay. Yeah, if this will result in true or false, we'll find out. Well, let's see. If L1 dot next, because L1 dot next is going to return to me a list node. We'll find out. If L1 dot next return L1, else I'm going to need to put in a semicolon, return L2. Let's see if this works. Run the code. And as a result, do we get L1 or L2? Or do we just get an error? Incompatible types. It cannot be converted to a Boolean. So how do I just get an exist? That's what I want.
What does L1 dot next return?
It returns a list node. You know,
Okay.
List nodes contain list nodes. Value. List node L1 dot val does not equal null. Let's see what that does. Cannot compare int to null. Compare int to null Java. How to check if an int is null. An int is not null. Okay, so it may be 0. 0 is what an int might be uninitialized. That one we got 124, which is L1, because it does not equal 0. L1 dot next is going to give us 2. Dot next is going to give us 4. Let's see what that does. And I might even want to throw in another dot next. I'm trying to get the 0. I'm trying to get it to land in L2. So this time we should get 134. Null pointer exception. Okay, so we cannot get... Interesting. But I can't check if it's null, although we can get a null pointer exception. What
What is list empty?
Say again?
What about is list empty? What does that do?
Where do you see is list empty?
Oh, I'm just looking at list nodes because I've never really used list nodes in Java, so I was just curious.
Right. So
I was looking at like
where'd you find the documentation?
example code. I was on Stack Overflow where it says like if it's list empty in parentheses, it's got front. I don't know what that means.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. Can you tell me that again?
Is list empty parentheses front?
Is list empty parentheses L1?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's run that. It's looks like it's not a symbol. I'm probably overcomplicating this. It's an easy. So we have an int that's a val. The list node object has the val and it has a next, and then we can also create a new list node. So all that I want to do is I want to say I need to find a way to get to the end. So the first thing is to just combine them. So if L1 dot val is greater than L2 dot val, I want to create a new list node. So I think I want to say list node result equals new list node. And we'll just not throw in an int there. Return L1. I just want to see if this runs. Does the code compile? Okay, I cannot create a new list node like that. How do I create a new object? Init list node Java. Okay, init list linked list. Right, not getting anything super helpful. We'll just ignore this one and just check if this will run. Okay, it runs. How do I create a result? I want to initialize a new list node. List node result equals list node with a value of I don't know, 0. Will that work? No. Oh, semicolon. Screw you, semicolons. Okay, cannot create. How would I create a list node like this? I've really no idea. List node. This is getting kind of frustrating. I kind of want to switch over to a different programming language.
Yeah, maybe. I guess you could switch over to like.
I guess I'm going to JavaScript real quick. Make this a lot faster.
Yeah.
While this dot well, not this. L1 dot next does not equal null.
This website is really cool.
If
I've never seen this website before.
L1 dot val is greater than L2 dot val, let result, and then we'll just say result dot val result dot next equals L2, else, and then what would this be? L2 dot val. No. L2. I want to get rid of the current value by assigning the current value equals L2 dot next. So this puts the next value as the current value dot val. Now it only gets the current value, and then it sets that one as the next value. Otherwise, we just want to flip this, and we want it to be result dot next equals L1, and then L1 is L1 dot next. So then let's just see what happens if we return result. It's not a full finished answer, but it's along the way. Result dot next. Okay, it doesn't like the result dot next. I don't think you have to declare stuff for JavaScript, but maybe because it's a special object. Wow. Okay. Result
It didn't work.
dot val. Let's try dot val. Okay, so I got a value now. And then I think here I want to make result dot next equals null. No? Yes?
Yeah.
Huh.
Try that.
I need to make this more of an algorithm.
Did it work? Did you get it sorted?
I'm glad that I'm doing this, 'cause it's... I don't know. Great question. Let's find out. While... Wonder if I can get a length. Can I log it all? Log... What is it? System... Oh wait, we're not in Java anymore, so it would be console.log. L1.val. Do we have liftoff? Oh hey, we do have output. The initial value of L1 is 1, so that means that when we... I guess we move the actual value from there to here when we do this. So I don't think we need to do that. And then let's just say while L1 dot next does not equal null. Let's loop through that. Each time we'll log the value just to see what happens. And tab it all. Run the code. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it prints stuff, and then our output is 2. So I guess we want result instead of .val, we want .next. Let's run this code. Cool. So, well, now we get undefined.
Let me see your code. I can't see your code. That's curious.
What do you need?
I can't see your screen.
At all?
Nope, it's black. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so while L1 dot next is on
Yeah, this time we get an undefined. Well, let me switch it back to vals, and then I'm also going to set result dot next equals null. Ooh, I think I know. And then result equals result dot next. Maybe.
Or what?
That way I set the value and then I set the result to actually the next value. But that sounds kind of weird. We'll see what happens. Nope. Oh, result dot val equals L2 dot val. What? What is the problem? Cannot set property of val to null. Interesting. Cannot set property of val to null. Oh, okay, so if this is null. Right, okay. Hey Google, stop. Property of val to null. So we don't want to set this value to null, which means that this is null. So obviously it's greater than it, I guess.
Well, why would L2 dot value
if-
be null?
Let's just throw in an and. L2 dot val does not equal null.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot set property val to null. Let's do double equal or just single. Okay. Interesting. Cannot set property val of null. Val null. What? What? What even? Let's just Control Z until we get something better. Okay, we're back to an output.
Output is
We're
2.
back to an output. So that doesn't really make sense to me. So we get 2 printed and 3 printed and 4 printed. Let's get rid of this. Okay, it runs forever. So we do this progresses the code. But I'm going to print this before we switch it up, that way we can get a little bit better details. Run the code again while it's running. Okay, now we print 1, 1, 2, and then it stops. While dot val. Let's try that instead. What's the error? Cannot read property val of null. Okay, while L1 does not equal null. There we go, now we print out a lot more numbers, and our end only ends up with the last number that we push. So rather than erasing it every time, I need to figure out a way to to add it onto the end every time. So this is updating it. What I want to do is I want to say result.next.val, and then for this I also want to say result.next.val. And now we get good old nothing. So let's undo those changes and see if it runs. And it runs again. It's a list node. How do I...
Can't you just do what if you did? Yeah, that's not gonna work.
So we want to add everything onto our result rather than erasing the result each time.
Equals L2 dot val? No, that might not work. Still only getting 4.
Cannot figure out how to get something more than just a single digit.
Wait, how do you create a new list node?
Great question.
Let result equal. No, that doesn't do it.
I'm assuming we can create it just by like putting a number in there. Very confused.
5 and C.
Well, so I just don't think that number does anything
I don't either.
because it's not changing it at all. All that we need to do is get it so that
What if you commented out result.val equals L2.val? Five. Okay, where did we add 5? But it does do something.
yeah, it sets it as the first value. So, but instead, we want this to be next dot val. Cannot set property val of undefined.
So,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, now I've got this twice.
still only getting 5.
Why do you not add anything on to the end? This is very confusing to me.
Is there a result.add?
No, the only reason I know next is because it's defined right here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a val and we have a next. But next is defined as null, which does not... definition for a singly linked list. So we should be able to... like, this is a list. There should be the current one, and then there should be the reference to the new one. So we just need... maybe I need to just let new equal new list node L2.val. Maybe I have to initialize it first. And then next is going to equal new. Well, not new. Temp. Temp. Let's see what happens when that goes.
Nope.
And a good old single digit of 5. We making solid progress. Yeah. Let the temp equal a new list node. I really am just not sure.
Not seeing it right.
Okay, we're just gonna take the L and check out the submission. Well, we don't have any submission, and there are no solutions to the question. Well, that sucks. So there's just no conclusion to this. There's just no. Let's see if we can hack this and just Google an answer. Give me the code in Java. Huh, okay. I want this JavaScript though. L1.data and L2.data. There is no data, there is only val and next. What is prev? Prev equals L3, which is a new one. New one dot... oh, okay, so they're defining it directly to the node rather than... Let's see if that'll work. Okay, so we've got this new one, and then while it's not null, if the value is greater, then we want to set result equal to thing. No, result.next equals L1. So in this case equals L2. And then we just set L2 to next, and that should be the only thing. We got two nodes. We got two mother frickin' nodes. We got a 5 and a 4 because the 5 is out here. We don't want anything in there. Don't know what else happened. What else do we need to add? Okay, so they have a longer check where they declare both of them checking for null. Well, it doesn't equal null.
This seems overly complicated.
Undefined and 4. Fuck. Okay. List node if L1 dot val is greater than L2 dot val. We get a 1 and we get a 4. That is not super helpful. I really am just not getting whatever's going on here. So we've got a merge. Merge L1 and L2 gets called, which if while neither of the data is null, if the data from, if the value of the first one is less than the value of the second one, set it up. And prev equals prev. Oh, that's what we're probably missing. Result equals result dot next. That's hilarious. And now we get less of an answer, less of the correct answer.
Hold on, let me see their code function for the real authority.
They have a prev and an L3. They have a prev and an L3.
What is the point of that?
We will do it. Let prev equal result. This is a whole lot of bullshit.
Yeah,
so
that's
now
not
we got
making sense.
prev dot next. What even prev equals prev dot next. What even is going on? I don't even know how.
Oh, 1 and a 4.
I don't even know how that happened.
I don't either.
All right, copy and all you. Let's just see if this even works. Let's see if we can. This is the final straw. We have now gotten to the point of copying and pasting the code. L3 exists. L1 needs to be lowercase, and this needs to be a list node. L1, L. I'm typing ones. Fuck.
It's okay. When I was doing it, instead of L1, I was typing LI. I'm like, no, that's not what I want.
You've done that?
Yeah.
That's funny. Too many L's for one day. L3
Nope,
can
that's
stay
right.
caps. Holy cow.
What the hell?
How did they even add these numbers in there? Like, it's not correct, but at least it's a thing.
What the hell?
If L1 is greater, if L1 is less than. Okay, so we add a 3 when we should not, in fact, add a 3. I have no idea what this code is doing. I'm gonna call this an L, and we'll lose for today, with the intention of coming back and not losing next time.
I like this. I like that how, as a group, we should have one of these, do one of these a day.
Yeah? Like a group
Yeah.
Sudoku puzzle almost?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see if we can do that. We'll try to catch back tomorrow, okay?
All right. Sounds good.